a special Pack Attack Beer, episode number 7 of
Brutal Battle. Yup. So this is one we've kind of been hyping a little bit, and sorry it's taken us a while to get to it. I've actually been having like some gastrointestinal testing done because of having some swallowing issues, and I wanted to kind of be a little less acid intake minded for myself. So this is a pack of sour beers, so we kind of put that to the side for a little bit. But at this point, we're like, okay, we're good. I got the thumbs up from the GI doctor saying, you know, we're not that concerned. Go ahead with acidic stuff, basically. So
here we are.
We're going to do this. We've been excited about this. It's been sitting in our fridge for...
Because it's dewy. It's
a
dewy.
few months. Yeah, it's been in there for a few months. Hard to keep, like, opening the fridge and, like, seeing it and being like, not yet, not yet. So... they literally put out a 4-pack of different secret machines, which we're a fan of smaller packs of beer, like 4-packs, and B, how often do you see, mixed packs of secret machines?
Yeah. Their
best, line of beers. So pretty excited about that. We're recording this in 2 pieces and then just kind of shoving it together so that we're not drinking 4 16-ounce sour beers at once. So, I'm still a little hesitant to go too far on the acid train, but let's do this. The first beer, I think, actually, I'm going to say the first 2 beers we're doing are probably the most interesting of what's in the pack, and then it'll get less interesting with the last 2, but they should probably all be good. I
think they're all going to be good, though. You think these are more interesting?
Yes.
The one is definitely more interesting.
Yeah, but the second one. Yeah, definitely more interesting. Okay, so let's start with the first one. Now, this is Cherry Cobbler Pie a la mode. And I'll tell you right now, there's a second one in the pack that is also in a la mode. So I wanted to kind of split those a la modes up for us. So... this is a weird thing where, like, it doesn't say what's in it.
Yeah, I noticed that.
But the other ones do.
Yeah.
So, well, actually, the other a la mode doesn't.
Doesn't either, yeah.
So I'm assuming cherry. I'm assuming some spices, like some cinnamon in there. And vanilla, because the a la mode.
Is cherry pie.
Yeah, cherry cobbler pie.
Cobbler pie?
I thought cobbler and pie were 2 separate things.
I'm
pretty sure they are.
I always thought of them as separate as well.
Because I believe cobbler has a crust, but it's not covered, and pie has a crust and is covered.
Some pies aren't covered, though.
I don't know. It's weird. There is a difference, though. But anyway, as is with all secret machines, 7% alcohol, so all of these are 7%. It's always that.
They're all 16-ounce cans.
Yeah, and they're all 16-ounce cans, so...
In that aspect, they're all the same.
You ready for this one?
Yeah, I'm excited. I love cherry. I love cherries. Like eating the fruit. Cherry and beer, though, for me is hit or miss.
Yeah. And I don't really like eating cherries.
You don't like cherries.
And cherry, for me, is also hit or miss in beers.
Yeah.
Actually, I would say that I like cherry in beer more than I like cherries.
Oh my gosh, I love cherries.
So...
the problem is they're so expensive.
Yeah. I
could just sit and eat a whole bowl.
It does have a decent head on top, and it's all just, like, small bubbles, so it's, like, nice, like, frothy head to it. It looks dark red. Yeah. Basically. Can't see through it because it's so dark. And I did roll these cans, by the way. They haven't just been sitting one way the whole time. I rolled them, which should kind of agitate any sort of, sediment just chilling in there.
Yeah, if you look down into the beer, you can see that it's a little clear, though.
Okay.
Like when you look through it, it's more opaque.
It smells good. It's got that typical, like, tart but fruity secret machine smell.
I'm getting, like, this baking spices, like cinnamon.
Maybe nutmeg-ish.
Yeah, like that pie.
I primarily get just like a little bit of cinnamon. I mostly get the cherry, and I'm definitely getting the a la mode aspect, which would be vanilla, obviously. It smells smooth. It smells creamy.
It
smells freaking tasty.
It smells really good.
It does smell really good. And the cherry's not overpowering either. Like, all the other notes are pretty...
This is just like you put your nose in a cherry pie. Like if you're like in someone's house and they're baking a cherry pie, that's what it smells like.
It's really smooth. And I'm assuming that part of that is just because of the vanilla. What the vanilla is doing in there is just making it even smoother. It's making it creamier.
It's good. I really like it. I wish I was getting more of the pie.
Yeah, I get a lot of cherry.
Yes.
It's very cherry driven, and then it's kind of like very slight cinnamon, and then like vanilla at the end.
Yeah, but it's mostly cherry for sure, which isn't a bad thing. I like it. I mean, you definitely want the cherry.
It's good.
It's not too tart.
No. Yeah, I mean, it's yeah, and that's the thing. Like, it's kind of like a medium-low tartness.
But it's not too sweet either.
No, it's not too sweet
like
either.
Some fruited sours are just like so sweet and so fruity you feel like you're not even drinking a beer.
Yeah.
But this still reminds me of a beer.
Well, and that's kind of how all the secret machines are for the most part. Like, they have that kind of medium-low tartness, and then they're never too sweet. I don't think we've ever had a single one of the secret machines that we felt was too sweet. They do a good job with that balancing.
Yeah. Not that I remember.
I get a little bit of a Naked Cheerio flavor on the very end.
Oh, you do? I didn't pick that up.
We'll see if you can, because that's your fave.
I do like that.
It's not strong. It's like a little bit.
I feel like I need to eat Cheerios sometime soon. I haven't had them in a long time. When's the last time you had Cheerios?
Probably as a child.
Yeah.
Or maybe in college at some point. I don't know.
Especially Honey Nut. We used to eat Honey Nut at my house all the time.
Yeah, definitely. At my house, we did have the Naked Cheerios.
Just the plain?
I don't know why we had them or who ate them. It was not me.
I think whenever I think of like plain Cheerios, I think of eating them with a sliced banana in them.
Okay. I could see that.
I kind of want that now. We can do that.
I mean, I was going to say, you're an adult. You can make that happen if you want to.
I might have to get...
Throw it in the grocery cart. Okay, so let's move on to the second beer, which I think is probably going to be the most interesting of all of these.
I'm excited about this because we've had a similar one.
But it's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Quite some time ago. So this one is their Baked Alaska. It's with pistachio, chocolate, raspberry, and vanilla. It's a lot going on in there.
And we did have one secret machine with chocolate before. What was that one?
Neapolitan.
And
it was really good.
And I was so nervous. I was like, how is chocolate going to play into a sour? What is that going to be like? And it was so good.
Yeah, it was.
It was just this like hint of chocolate. It was so tasty. So I'm anticipating this is also going to be very tasty.
I mean, probably. I mean, it's Secret Machine. When has Secret Machine steered you wrong?
A couple times.
I'm going to bet, that's true.
We've had a lot of secret machines, though, because usually once a year we make it down to Dewey when I make Carlin go to the beach for the day. And we'll stop at Dewey on the way home. And so we've had a decent... I'd be curious to see how many we've had.
Yeah, we have had a decent
But there's
amount.
been a couple that we're like, you know what, I don't really like it.
Yeah.
But very rarely.
Yeah, I mean, it does happen here and there. Off the top of my head, I can only think of one.
Me too.
That I was just like, I don't like this.
I don't remember which one it was either.
It was one that had kiwi in it, I remember. I don't remember exactly which one, but I know it had kiwi. Okay. My question is, are we going to get pistachio at all? Probably not, but you never know.
Yeah.
All right. So this looks just like a more sickly version of the cherry one. It's like
I
just
got beer on the outside of my glass.
It's kind of just like it's watered down red.
Yeah, it's not a pretty color.
No, it's kind of
muddy. A lot of their beers are kind of muddy, though.
Yeah.
Murky.
Yeah, it's like muddy red.
Yeah.
Is what it looks like.
Orangey,
but
maybe.
The smell, that's the big thing. Whoa. Raspberry.
And chocolate.
Raspberry.
Aren't you getting that chocolate in the nose?
Yeah, but that raspberry is so strong.
It's so chocolatey, I think.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, there's a lot of chocolate. But, like, the first thing that hits you, because it's such a strong, vibrant smell, and it's very, like, tart in its perception on the nose, is that raspberry. That raspberry is so strong.
For me, it's the chocolate.
The chocolate's extremely strong, though.
It smells like a chocolate-covered raspberry. Like a good, yummy dessert.
Vanilla's definitely in there. It smells really smooth and creamy.
Yeah.
This is a very robust nose.
Smells delicious.
What's not in the nose?
Pistachio.
I do not smell pistachio.
Yeah. Nuts are so hard to get.
Yeah.
We'll see if we get that proteiny. Yeah, I'm not getting it.
Ooh. I think you're going to be a fan.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so weird. Because you get like.
It is.
Because it is like tart and sour. And you get all those robust berry flavors from the raspberry, but you get the chocolate. Are you trying to see if you suss out that pistachio?
I get a little salinity at the end, which could be from the pistachio. Yeah, it's like on the aftertaste, like when you're not actually taking a sip, like it's after it's dissipated a bit, I get salt showing up on my tongue. It's kind of weird, but it's not bad. It's not messing anything up, but yeah, the chocolate's so strong. The raspberry's so strong. There is that vanilla in there. I'm getting like a bit of like a proteininess in the mouthfeel from the beer, which is probably what the pistachio is doing. But I don't taste nuts. I don't taste pistachio except for that saltiness at the end, which is what I'm assuming pistachio is doing to the beer. Don't need that, obviously. It's just a extra weird something. But this beer's pretty finesse. In my opinion. Yeah. It's a nuanced sour.
I really like both of these, though.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we're just going to rank them all at the end?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's definitely that saltiness. I am starting to actually get a little nuttiness. A little bit of nuttiness. I need to go back to the cherry while it's in front of us. That kind of makes the... going from that one to the secret machine, the cherry one, makes the cherry stand out more as being like
juicy.
Yeah, like juicy, real, rich cherry.
I lose the pie spice.
Well, it wasn't super there to start with, so. I mean, at the moment, I'm just going to say that I like the Baked Alaska more. Not by a ton, but... I like them.
I don't know. I really like both of these. It's hard for me to pick.
Getting phlegmy. Already getting phlegmy. This is why part of the reason we're breaking it up into two and then putting it together, because just the phlegm factor on doing 4 of these in a row would be out of control.
Well, then we essentially would both be drinking like 2 16-ounce cans.
Yeah, I can't do that of sours, really.
Yeah, I can't. I definitely can't.
Not my thing. But anyway, okay.
Even though they'd be phenomenal beers.
Yeah. So we're done for right now, but for you guys, we're just moving on to beer number 3. And this one is going back to the a la mode style. This is Secret Machine Apple Crisp a la mode. Again, these are all 7%. They're all 16-ounce cans. Interested to see what this one's like in comparison to the cherry.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, while I'm doing this, did you want to go grab the other cans? Because I forgot to bring them.
Sure.
So we can just... It's just easier for us to kind of like visualize our ranking at the end by physically putting them in order. So, yeah, I'm going to do that. Also, just to let people know while this is going on that we did look up, or I looked up on my Untapped how many secret machines we've ever had. Because I know we were kind of questioning that earlier. And... after this pack attack is done, we will have had 27 different secret machines, which I think is a pretty good representation of what their secret machines are. We've also had some additional sours that aren't called secret machine. I didn't count those, so there are probably at least 3 other ones.
There's strawberry pretzel salad.
Yeah, the strawberry pretzel salad is really good. Okay, so the Apple Crisp a la mode, what's it looking like?
It's like a murky orangish yellow.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. There's not a whole lot of head on this. Even as soon as I poured it, like, barely any head popping up, which I think is a little weird.
I'm a little nervous about this because I don't know how I feel about apple in my beer.
The smell is pretty low-key.
It smells like an apple cider.
I am getting the apple, but it's more of like a soft, sweet apple. No, like, real tartness. Like, it's more on the sweet side as far as the secret machine goes than on the tart side.
Yeah.
I do get a decent amount of the a la mode aspect of vanilla.
You definitely get a lot of the spices, the baking spices.
Yeah, spices are in there, too.
And like vanilla creaminess.
Yeah, definitely smells quite creamy.
I mean, it smells like it's delivering on what you think it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I agree. I will say that this smells more appetizing to me than the cherry pie.
Oh, really?
Cherry cobbler pie a la mode.
I like the cherry. I don't know. We'll see how
this smells really good. I don't know. Based off the smell, I think I might like this one more, but we'll see.
That's good.
Very easy. Yeah, as far as like flavor goes, I think it's less complex tasting than the other two we've had so far, but it's nice. Definitely that apple, like I was saying, it's more like kind of like soft, low-key, sweeter side of an apple type flavor, which makes me wonder, like, what type of apples did they use? Because there's so many.
There are a lot of types.
Or was it a mixture? It could have been. Lots of varietals of apple.
Hopefully it's a mixture, because I feel like you get like a better flavor that way.
I get the spices. Mm-hmm. The spices are not too overpowering. A little bit of cinnamony, a little nutmeggy in there. Very low key, though.
I mean, it reminds me a lot of the cherry.
Yeah.
When they substituted the apple.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's kind of like, what fruit do you like?
Pretty much.
I just don't really want to drink apple.
Why is that?
I don't know. I don't like apple.
You just feel like it's alcoholic apple juice.
Yeah, like I don't know. It's not bad.
I like it.
It's just, I don't prefer that. I prefer the cherry to the apple.
Okay. I mean, I like it. I am getting a decent amount of vanilla that's kind of hanging out in the sip, and it's kind of like all the way through, which is nice. So, yeah. I mean, I like this one. It's not my favorite of all these, but I like it. All right, so Rebecca's going to take us to beer 4.
Beer 4, our last one of the pack, is the Secret Machine Blueberry, Blackberry, Raspberry. And like Carlin said, it's 7%.
And we've had this before.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one we were saying at the top of the episode. We've had one of these before. This one
have we had it multiple times?
Maybe. I think we may have had it multiple times. Yeah.
I feel like that one is like more wide. Like I feel like we've seen it in the liquor store before.
Actually, I'm pretty sure I've seen this one in 12-ounce cans.
Oh yeah, I think I have too.
Maybe even 4-packs. I think 4-packs of 12-ounce cans, which is interesting. But yeah. All right. Well, if I remember properly or correctly, I like this one.
Yeah.
Or we like this one.
It's a fairly pretty color.
It is. It definitely is.
It's still like a little murky, but it's like ruby.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Reddish pink.
Looks nice-ish. Yeah, it's got a nice, like, super light pink head hanging out on top. Yeah, it's so funny because every single beer we poured has had, like, a decent head on top, but the Apple one didn't. A la mode did not. So that's kind of weird. Oh, it's vibrant berry.
So many berries.
So much berry. Blueberry, blackberry, raspberry.
Blueberry, blackberry, raspberry, yep.
Get raspberry and blackberry the most, in my opinion.
Blueberry?
Primarily raspberry, then blackberry, then blueberry.
Blueberry has such like a mild...
It does. Unless you get those ones that are like really tart, then it's more pronounced. But yeah, for the most part, blueberry is more
they have a distinct flavor, but like the nose of a blueberry, like you like squish a blueberry, like it's, you don't...
Yeah. It's, I mean, like a lot of Secret Machines, it smells like soft and smooth and creamy.
There's a lemony tartness to it.
Yeah, a little bit. I like this a lot. Yeah. I like this a lot. I love this one. That's really good. It's literally just like sour berry salad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just like the nose. Primarily raspberry, then blackberry, then blueberry. But I also do feel like in the flavor, those berries are mixing together a lot better than in the nose. Mm-hmm. They stand out a little more separate in the nose, and when you're tasting it, they kind of like blend together a lot more.
If I had to pick one in this lineup that I feel like would like appeal to the masses, this would be the one.
Probably, yeah. I would agree with that for sure.
It's not my personal favorite, but I like it a lot.
It's just like very vibrant. Like if you like berries, especially if you like sour beers with berries in it, you're really going to enjoy this one. So it's really good. Big fan. All right. So that brings us to the ranking portion. And do you want to go first? Because it looks like you already put the cans in order.
Can in my order.
Okay.
Okay. So number 4 for me, so my lowest rating is going to be the Apple Crisp a la mode.
Mm-hmm.
My number 3 pick is the Blueberry Blackberry Raspberry.
Mm-hmm.
My number 2 is the Cherry Cobbler Pie a la mode. And my number 1 is the Baked Alaska, which is the pistachio chocolate raspberry vanilla.
So my number 4 is the same.
The apple pie.
The Apple Crisp a la mode. My number 3 is going to be the Cherry Cobbler Pie a la mode. My number 2 is the Blueberry Blackberry Raspberry. And my number 1 is also the Baked Alaska.
Okay, so we had number 1 and number 4 the same.
Yeah, 1 and 4. It's just flip-flop in the middle. I even considered that Blueberry Blackberry Raspberry for number 1.
Really?
I like it that much. I think it's an awesome beer. I see why it's more widely available as far as secret machines go. I feel like they've really
it's very tasty.
They've got it right on where they need it.
There's really not a bad beer on this lineup.
No. It's a great pack.
For me, the Baked Alaska, the chocolate is such a surprise flavor.
Agreed. Yeah.
And they integrated it so well that it really stood out.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason that I kept that as my number 1, just because, there's so much going on in it in comparison to a mix of berries.
Yeah.
You already know that the mix of berries and sours is tried and true. Everyone's doing it.
It's gonna be good.
But not everyone's doing the whole Baked Alaska thing. It's more risky, but it's more nuanced.
I think it paid off.
So, yeah, big time. So this was a great episode. There, at some point, will be more pack attacks coming.
There might. We already have. We don't have it in our possession yet.
We do have one potentially come. Well, we probably will do that one.
We'll probably do that one.
Okay, and it's sours again.
Yeah, it is sours again.
Is there a theme with what we look for?
Spring, summer, sour season.
Yeah, so that'll happen at some point. Not 100% sure. Maybe sooner, maybe later, but we'll make it happen. So if you have ideas on episodes you really want or beers you really want, you can email us, brutalbattlepodcast@gmail.com. You can get back episodes if you want, just brutalbattle.com. Please help us out by rating and reviewing us through whatever podcatcher you use to listen. Apple Podcasts /iTunes will help us out the most, so we appreciate that one. We are also on one form of social media, which is
Instagram.
And what's the address for that?
Brutal Battle Podcast.
All right. And we're also on the beer social media known as Untapped. I am Carlton Malibu, all one word spelled as it sounds.
I am Ruby Reb 62.
Awesome. So that's all the stuff. Oh, the last thing. Word of mouth. Tell people about the podcast. Let them know, hey, this is a cool craft beer podcast we listen to. It's been going on for a long time now. They know what they're doing. Listen.
We think we know what we're doing.
We think we do. But thanks everyone for listening for a long time if you have, or just this episode or whatever. We appreciate it. So until next time,
keep it brutal.
I feel so